I want to give just a few scene-setting facts, if you'll grant me the grace to do so. Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa. As of 2025, so this is really up to date, an estimated 237.5 million people live in Nigeria. It's the 6th most populated country on the planet. And there is a lot at stake why we're here today. Half of all Nigerians are under the age of 18. Only 7% of the population is over the age of 50, and that means life is short for many. So when we talk about the systematic killing of Nigerian Christians, you must know they are mostly young girls, young boys, to young parents. Who will protect the Christians? That's why we're here today. Who leads Nigeria is an interesting question. The Nigerian president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is a Muslim. It is a Muslim-majority nation, about 53%. The other large religious group is Christian, about 44%. And sundry other faiths make up the smallest percentage. I note that Tinubu's wife, Remi, is a Christian, an ordained pastor. We'll see if that matters. We do know that Tinubu has rejected President Trump calling out the mass deaths in Nigeria, although the president has definitely gotten Tinubu's attention. Reportedly, in response to Trump, the Nigerian president has now recently promised to, quote unquote, fight terrorists through diplomatic engagement. And Ambassador Waltz and I were speaking earlier. There is some movement. You spoke of that today. But there are more than 7,000 Christians who have died from just January to August of this year. So now in mid-November, you can make that number bigger, sadly. So one might question Tinubu's timetable for those diplomatic conversations to happen, since he seems to think that diplomatic engagement can end this. There are currently now 22 radical Islamic terror groups in the country of Nigeria. Can you imagine 22 of those groups in this country? It's unbelievable. Thousands of them, some aligned with ISIS. The stakes are high. One more quick detail. Back to who holds the power in Nigeria. The area of north-central Nigeria is one of incredible loss right now. You heard it referenced. They call it Middle Belt, where most Christians are being kidnapped and executed. The images and the stories are too horrible for our hearts to bear. That is why we're here today. Let's begin with that really hard part. And Reverend McCann, I come to you. What are the religious realities on the ground for Christians right now?
Well, thank you for having me join this panel. Let me first of all begin by expressing deep gratitude and appreciation to the U.S. Congress and President Trump for turning the spotlight on Nigeria at this time, as it has to do with violence against Christians. We've been experiencing this for a quarter of a century, and it has been extremely a difficult experience for Christians. Jos, Plateau State, where I come from, is considered as the umbilical cord of Christianity in northern Nigeria. Jos is the host of, Western missionaries that have had calling to come and evangelize. So Jos is the umbilical cord for missionaries. And so Jos became like the first and primary target for Islamic extremism to launch their violence. And it has been a difficult experience because whole communities, villages, have been extinct as a result of this violence. I wish we have a lot of time, because just in 2 counties, there are a whole lot of like 67 villages that have literally been wiped out because of the extremist attacks, especially by the Fulani militants. And of course, the Fulani militants are the foot soldiers for forceful advance and expansion of Islam in Nigeria. I don't know if I've said enough, or I will still have the opportunity to say more.
I'll tell you this. I want to go around the panel and then I'll come back, Reverend. I want to get a good idea, and Sean, maybe you can fill us in based on what you have seen. What actually is the motive for killing particularly Christians? I mean, you can say, and I love the way that Nicki Minaj put it, this is not about picking sides, but it is about faith, and more Christians than anyone in that nation are being executed. Why?
That's absolutely right. And much of it started from 2009 with Boko Haram, when they really became militant and began